Welcome back to Factorio with me, JD, and our quick little tutorial series. Try and get these out in 10 minutes or less. So, this time we're going to do furnaces and ratios. Main reason I'm going to do this is I see a lot of people build short little furnace runs and they wonder why their belt's always empty. And the answer is, you never filled it in the first place. So, we have this simple, repeatable, tileable build that I like doing, and you can see it over here. I've got, let's go to map view. I've got, well, you could see, I've got 8 of these strung together, fed by one coal belt. Now, I've purposely starved that coal belt, but that's for another episode, which you'll just have to wait to see. The correct ratio, and we'll do a deconstruction plan. My inventory is full of crap. The correct ratio is 48 stone furnaces to 1 yellow belt, and 48 steel furnaces to 1 red belt, because red belt moves twice as fast, and a steel furnace has a crafting speed of 2, and a stone furnace has a crafting speed of 1. Nice and simple. Except, we'll come up here and you'll see, does not have full, that's not a full yellow belt. We could fit more plate in there. And there's a reason for that. You'll see, well, this guy's got iron in it, he can't output. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, oh, he can output. So it's just here upwards, can't output. And that's I wouldn't call it a bug in Factorio. It's a quirk. It's a quirk. There isn't enough room on these belts for these inserters to output. So we need to make some room. And there's 2 ways of doing that. One is we could use some underground trickery. So we could bring that up to there, that up to there. Oh, another one up to there. We could snake this belt out here. And then do a splitter here. And we need to move this up higher. And you'll see we now have a full output's worth. Because we do have the correct ratio. Well, correct ratio is a stretch. It's 47.5 stone furnaces, and we're using 48. So we're making sure it's full in theory, right? So that's one thing you can do to just top the belt up. The problem is, splitters are not 100%. Sometimes they have a quirk where they don't take things evenly. So I much prefer a very different method, which is, again, just dealing with the quirks in the game mechanics. So, we have... No, you're outputting, you're outputting, you're outputting... Where do we stop? This guy's the first guy that doesn't output. So we take an underground from there to there. And then we take an underground from there to there. Underground from there to there. Underground from there to there. And then we might as well throw an underground on the end. And when these guys come through, you'll see we now have a full yellow belt width. Everybody's outputting. Even the guys... Oh, yeah, we've got a couple of guys struggling. Purely because, they're backed up. They're full of iron. Let's empty the iron out of them. Now they're running at normal speed. I'll say normal speed. Do we have... Oh, we've got iron backed up all the way back to there. Okay, clear the backlog. Now you see they're running as fast as they can smelt, not as fast as they had in storage, because they had plenty in storage. But we still have a full yellow belt of output. Same applies to red belt. Red belt, because the belt moves faster, and that's the key thing. In fact, I've only brought it yellow belt to here. I could probably come back a couple of squares. Because yellow belt's fast enough for the first almost half of the belt. And then we're going to come up to red speed. And all these guys are outputting. I'll get rid of the advanced tab. Until we get to the last couple. And same story. Actually, we're going to... get rid of that. We're going to drag that up higher. So we've got some room to play. And we'll empty our backlog. And as you can see, it's only the last couple that have a backlog. And we're going to go from that one to that one. And then we'll go from that one as far as we can. And as you can see, they're outputting fully, and we have a fully compressed red belt. Now you notice, as I said, they're both the same size, and it's just that one crafts at a speed of 1, this guy crafts at a speed of 2, which means we can feed a yellow belt of iron ore in, split the coal, put coal on half the belt, and iron on half the belt, run our coal and our iron up, feed them both in with one inserter, and our output. And as you can see, the backups now moved down to here. Because we're using this little underground trick, the inserters can just put onto an underground easier than they can put onto a belt. Yeah, you got 31 plate, you got 29 plate, you got 5 plate. So these particular guys are just slightly backed up. Alright, but it's always better to have too much than not enough. We've got full yellow belt on the outside because that's the speed we're pulling it off. And on our red belt version, single red belt of iron ore in. Our coal, because we just don't use it fast enough, can still remain a yellow splitter. As you can see, the coal's just really not moving in comparison to the iron. The iron's flying up this belt. And yeah, red belt halfway down the line, all the way up, and just the last couple. You know, we've got 38, 53. You know, I could do one more underground. It means the backup will move to this guy. This guy won't be able to output now because it's almost a full belt. And when these guys just add their little iron plate, you'll see this belt stops and staggers all over the place. But the point is, we have a red belt out and a yellow belt out, and that's how we get our two belts. That's how we ratio out a smelter. Now, the only exception is brick. Brick, because you need 2 stone at 3.5 seconds, and iron plate is 1 iron and copper, is 1 iron or 1 copper at 3.5 seconds. A stone furnace, you actually need to build... where are we? Let's make a blueprint. And we're going to blueprint half as much. We'll blueprint extra, just on principle. Actually, you know what? We'll blueprint the whole thing. All the way to there. No, I don't want the blueprint string. I just want that pop down. And we'll run some power across. Create coal. Copy and paste. And then we're going to change you to stone. Stone in, stone in. Yeah, my inventory is full of crap. Really? I was missing an inserter on a magic blueprint that just puts down everything in one hit. Okay, that's new. Okay, so as we're outputting stone brick, you'll see that our stone only makes it about halfway up our smelting array. Where are we? That's 24, so it'll make it to right about here. Some stone will trickle past, but not a lot. So, if you want a full belt, and it's only if you want a full belt of stone, you need to duplicate this whole build, which of course the other things in the way. Where was it? One of those right there. With one of those. With one of those. And then, as always, you can just merge them at the end. We're waiting for the system to fire up still. Put in the extra power pole. Crank the game speed up. And because a belt moves faster, that's the key thing. It's our source belt we can't get in fast enough, not our output belt. So we don't need to put our underground trick here. But when we get up here, as you can see, we have a full belt of stone brick out, which is great if you want to pave the world. So that's what I'm going to call it for this one. That's my little tips and tricks on ratios. For furnaces, obviously steel's an entirely different monster, which will have its own dedicated episode just because of how unique it is. Thank you guys for watching. As always, on the left-hand side, you should find the subscription button. If you'd like to see more of my content, by all means, click it. Don't forget to turn the little bell on, so you've got a better chance of YouTube actually telling you when I put out a new video. Same story on the right-hand side. You have a magical video picked for you by the YouTube bots that hopefully you might enjoy. And you should also find a link to this particular playlist if you want to watch more quick tips and tricks from me, JD. Thanks for watching. Bye.